Hello. Yeah, Abbas sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
We will start the session.
Okay.
Yeah, just 1 minute, sir.
Students, good afternoon, students. Just be there. Actually, guests have already joined, but there is some audio issue from their side, so they are trying to resolve it. Okay. Once it is resolved, we will start the session. Just wait for a minute, 1 or 2 minutes. That's it. and be there throughout the session because the session is on cloud computing and IoT and means on security issues. So it will be a very useful for you. And sir is going to discuss the opportunities for graduated students in this area also. So be there till the end of a program. It will be very knowledgeable and useful for you. A very good afternoon to all who are present in this online webinar and organized by the Department of Computer Science, SFS College, Nagpur, in association with the Department of Robotics, RTMNU, Nagpur. So talking about the college, San Francis de Sales College is a Catholic Christian minority institution which is managed by the Catholic Archdiocese of Nagpur. The college was founded in 1956 with the goal to promote the excellence in higher education and foster human values. San Francis de Sales College is one of the oldest college in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra and is affiliated to Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj, Nagpur University, Nagpur. The college is accredited A grade with CGPA of 3.23 by National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAC, Bangalore. Now, I am very pleased to introduce our today's guest, Mr. Anil Tatode, sir. Mr. Anil Tatode, sir, is a training officer in RTMNU's robotics department. Sir has 14 plus years of rich industrial experience. He has worked with Fox Solutions in International Business Unit on Siemens platform. He has trained over 2,000 students. He has worked for rural preschool development in association of Hippocampus Learning Center. He has counseled more than 10,000 of graduate students and have handled many recruitment drives. Sir has expertise in cloud technology, Internet of Things, public speaking, career counseling, and training and placement activities. So now I invite Mr. Anil Tatode, sir, to guide our students. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, sir.
I'm really glad to see all the students and staff members, and really happy to see the way you introduced me and the way you introduced the SFS. That's great. So as we all know, today we are here for the session on cloud technology, which is very much in trend. It's a trending technology, and a lot of happenings are there in this field, and industries are adopting this technology very rapidly, like anything, because it's a essence, it's a necessity, and it's a time demand. But when we see the students who are doing education into particularly IT education, they don't find a way of learning such technologies and getting into an industry, and many times they are failed to get employment in a industry, right? Because there is always a gap between skill and industry demands. So we really need to understand that how industries are demanding, what kind of skill sets they need and what kind of opportunities they have for the youngsters. If we really understand, this couple of things, the opportunity, what industries are having, and the skills, what the students need. If they understand this couple of things, I think it will be really great for them to get more and more opportunities out there in the world, and they can really stand on their feet, and they can make their mentors, their parents, and their guardians proud about their profession, right? So the whole idea of having this session is to educate them, is to give them the information on the latest trends and opportunities in the field of cloud technology and information security. So let's get started. I have some PowerPoint presentation through which we'll interact with the students, and I would be really expecting students to be ready with their questions. End of the session, we can definitely have a question answer session. Even if in the mid of session, if you get any query, or if you are having any doubt, so you can raise your hand, or you can text me a message in the chat box. I'll definitely respond you accordingly. Getting it? So let's get start. I have to just share the screen first, then we will start. Hold on, guys. I understand students who are joining here or who have joined here, they all are from final year. Yes, Pimpalkar sir.
Yes, sir. They are only from final years.
Great. That's really great. Why we do it for final year? Because, they are immediate beneficiaries. They are very close to the situation where they'll come across a lot of challenges, as far as their opportunities and career is concerned. So it's a very right time to, approach them and to tell them and to guide them. That's the reason we normally approach final year students only. So acknowledge me if you are able to see the screen.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Correct. So let's get started. We'll start with the topic PPT. It's essence of cloud technology and information security. And you can see a couple of entities who are there to help you out, and on behalf of those couple of entities like RTMNU and iNurture Education Solutions, I'm presenting this session. So I would like to welcome all the staff members and dear students on behalf of RTMNU and iNurture Education Solutions. It's me, Anil Tatode, who is going to present our session today. I'm working here as a training officer from last 6 years, and it's really a great journey. And I had a lot of good experience with the center. We have seen a lot of successful stories of the center. So we'll start with our first PPT. Something disruptive is happening around us. So when we call it as a disruption, it means every new technology will dominate the old one, right? So this PPT is about telephone evolution. I hope students can recognize this device. This is telephone, right? But you don't see it anywhere in the use nowadays. It's become obsolete. It's become outdated, and you hardly see this kind of phone anywhere in a use. It's a museum's asset, right? So you will be only able to see this kind of telephone in the museums only, right? Then it has got upgraded into a rotary dial pad telephone. Then it has got upgraded into this, then this guy, then we got walkie-talkie, then we got, mobile phone, which were looking like a television remote control. So you hardly see this kind of phone anywhere nowadays, right? Then we got this guy, phone with the screen. Then we got a basic phones. Yeah. So during the era of this basic phone, Nokia was actually the very popular brand, and the people were preferring only Nokia or Motorola brand. No other brands were there, or no other brands were seen, the users are using, right? And today it's a smartphone era, right? Where, you have a very diversified brands. You have iPhone, you have Samsung, you have Oppo, you have Vivo, you have so many brands are there. But unfortunately, Nokia is not doing well. Why? What is the reason behind it? I just like to ask students, why Nokia is not in a trend nowadays, or it's not a popular brand today? Yeah, anybody among student? I hope you got my question.
It failed to keep up. It failed to keep up with the modernization of the technology, sir.
Very true. Very true. Excellent. Any other specific reason? Can you be specific about it? What is it Nokia didn't do it, and because of which Nokia has gone out of the market? Yeah.
Sir, they kept they stuck to those basic keypad mobile phones when the market like Apple and everything started bringing their own iPhones and all these things, the smart mobiles.
Not exactly. When the smartphone was introduced in the market, all other brands started, competing in a market, and they also introduced their smartphones. So Nokia also done the same thing. The only Nokia didn't do is operating system, right? So Nokia went with the Microsoft and old operating system, that is Windows and Symbian, whereas the other smartphones adopted Android, and Android was such a great user interface, and it has introduced WhatsApp also. The WhatsApp made people crazy, right? So by the time Nokia start their own WhatsApp or Android interface, the other brands done a great in market, and they have attracted all other consumers of Nokia. Getting it? That's the reason Nokia has gone out of the train. So the message is very clear in this PPT. The message is, unless you upgrade yourself, you cannot be in a business for a long time, right? So it's about the corporate. Even if we talk about our life, if you're not to upgrade your life, or if you're not ready to go with the time or trend, you may find yourself sometime very outdated and very odd man out, and you may not be able to be a dynamic. So being dynamic is something, being dynamic means you have to be a very trendy. Getting it? So you have to look for the trends, right? So that's the basically message in this PPT. Getting it? So technology is getting evaluated very rapidly. It is getting changed very rapidly. Unless you change yourself accordingly, you cannot expect yourself to be in a business for a long time. That's the message, very clear message. And the another message is the technology is changing very rapidly, so as industries. Getting it? So it's very, very obvious. If industries are upgrading themselves, they'll be needing assets. Getting it? They cannot expect their 10, 15 years old employees to work on a new technology, or they are being so rigid, they don't adopt new technologies. That's the reason youngsters get opportunities. So anywhere when you see the bulk vacancies or mass vacancies, जो हम बोलते हैं, जैसे banking में revolution आया था, banking में we seen a lot of vacancies came out, and the students there in 2000 to till 2008 applied for the bank jobs and got jobs very easily, and there was a very less competition that time, and the vacancies were more. Getting it? So that was the time when we had a mass vacancies in a banking. Similarly, when we talk about IT domain, it's a very golden time for the students who are aspiring to become an IT engineer today, because there are a lot of opportunities, which is created by different domain, which is created by different technologies, and industries are simply looking and hunting for the trained resources to operate their business, which is completely based on the new tools, new technology, new platforms. Got it? So this was about the telephone evolution, and now we'll talk about memory device evolution. Look at this. I hope you are able to recognize this device. What is it? Yes, students? It's a floppy disk. And what's the application of floppy disk?
So it was used to transfer data from one place to another.
To store the data, right? So can you have any imagination, or can you have any guessing that how much data we were able to store in this device? What was the size of that data when we had this kind of floppy disk?
4.7 MB or something like that.
Yes, so data was in KBs and MBs. So this is the floppy disk which was storing a data of KBs, then it got into an MB, then we got a DVDs, CDs, right? Then we got a pen drive. Pen drive was really a very popular, and it's a really good option because you can carry it in your pocket very easily, and you can hang it on your neck, and anywhere you can keep it very easily, right? So the pen drive was really a very popular option 5 years ago, or some years ago. But today, its use also got reduced, right? Because we have a multiple options today. We have so many ways of transferring data, getting data, accessing it, right? those things are happening. That's the reason people are not bothered about having pen drive today. But 5-6 years ago, the situation was if you don't have a pen drive, you are very helpless in many situations. If you want to take any data from someone, or if you want to transfer any data from your laptop to anywhere, right? Or if you want to have your own assignments or your projects, it was very difficult to handle it. But today you have a multiple options. We have a virtual drives, right? So that's basically the crux. It's all about virtual drive, a cloud who is disrupted all other physical devices. Let's have a look. These are the USB devices, and these are your cloud apps. iCloud, which is used in iPhone, iPad, and MacBook. Getting it? Box is one of the American companies. SkyDrive is also one of the American company, and Google Drive. It's a very day-to-day example, right? So whoever is having Android, they must be having a Gmail account, right? So if you have a Gmail account, you have a drive, Google Drive. So whatever data you get the backup of it in your smartphone, that data gets stored in your Google Drive. So next time, whenever you want to retrieve that data or you want to recover that data, that can be easily happen up to 15 GB at absolutely free of cost. After that, you can go with the premium version. Even Microsoft have also got his interface, that is Microsoft 365, through which you get a 1 TB database, 1 TB storage for a year. Maybe you have to pay 3,000-4,000 for that. And that 1 TB data, up to 1 TB data you can store. You can access it anywhere. You really do not need to have your own laptop to access your data. Sometimes it happens कि हमारे पास कोई अच्छी movies है या फिर हमारे पास कोई important data है, तो हम लोगों को वो data का access चाहिए होता है, तो we are helplessly carrying our laptop because we believe that ये data मेरा laptop में है, तो मेरा laptop मेरे पास होना चाहिए. Getting it? But अभी वैसा नहीं है. If you get any drive which is virtually available with you, in which you have to just put your credential, user ID and password, and you can access that data anywhere across the globe, right? For example, just few days ago, I called my wife and said, there are some important images of our marriage, which I want to share with you. So she said, how you will be sharing? I said, I got a, Microsoft 365, जिसमें अपना पर्सनल वॉल्ट बना के हम लोग उस पर्सनल वॉल्ट पे हमारे पर्सनल इमेजेस डेटा रख सकते हैं. And if you give the access of that personal vault to anybody, that guy will be able to access that data from anywhere across the globe. There is no location barrier. Getting it? There is no time barrier. कोई time भी नहीं है उसका. उसके पास अगर वो credentials पहुंच गए तो आपका data पहुंच गया. Getting it? Similarly, we think so many things are through our WhatsApp, right? I share the images, I share the link, I share the, many things, right? So that becomes easy. Because it's a virtual storage, and that virtual storage is nothing but which gets interface through internet, right? So that is basically cloud, right? So cloud is disrupting all physical devices. Today you are at least able to see the mobile phone which has got a memory expansion facility, but I'm very sure after few years you won't have any mobile phone where the memory slot will be available. Every mobile phone will come up with internal cloud storage with a specific limit. After that, if you want to expand it, you may need to pay. So that is going to be happened, and it is already started. iPhone never comes with, memory slots, right? Whatever branded or a premium phones never come with a memory slot. It has got its own internal memory storage, and it has got a cloud interface. So that cloud interface will give you the flexibility to, expand your memory storage capacity however you want, right? So that's basically a great thing about cloud. Getting it? Now we'll see what is the cloud, how is the cloud. Definition of cloud, it's a simplest term. Cloud computing means storing and accessing data and program over the internet instead of your computer address. You got the point? I hope you understand what I mean to tell you. आपके हार्ड ड्राइव पे जो डेटा हम पहले कन्वेंशनली स्टोर करते थे, आज वो डेटा हम इंटरनेट पे रखते हैं. गेटिंग इट? और उस इंटरनेट के डेटा का हम लोग डेटा हो गया या प्रोग्राम हो गया, आपके कोई भी फाइल्स हो गई, आपके you can get it, you can have your mobile, right? You can have your applications, you can have your softwares, you can have your doc files, you can have your MS files, you can have your images, videos, audios, any kind of data. can be stored into the internet through a virtual interface, through a cloud interface. And that is nothing but a cloud computing, right? And I need not to tell you what are the advantages of it. I already told you. The best advantage is you have that data with you as long as you have an internet connectivity with you, right? Irrespective of any computing device, irrespective of any location, irrespective of any time. Isn't it true? So if I want to share any data with you, 5-6 years ago, it was very difficult and challenging. And in fact, we were not aware that how to share the file. हम किसी को ईमेल भी करते हैं तो 20 MB के ऊपर का डेटा हम ईमेल नहीं कर सकते. Getting it? So just few days ago, I had one audio recording with me, and I wanted to share it with my friend. And that size of that audio file was 16 MB, more than 16 MB. So do you know that if your data is more than 16 MB, you cannot share it in WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp will restrict you to share that. So that audio file was, more than a 16 MB. So I just got an idea. I told him ki you just give me your Gmail ID. I'll just share that file with you. And he was not aware. So he said ki how come you are going to share? Email pe nahi aayega. Tumne mujhe bataya hai. So I said I got an idea of Google Drive. Right? I'll just share it with your Google Drive. You just go to your Google Drive and access it. And he's done it. My job became easy. Right? So many things happens in a cloud. So it's an individual use, Now imagine the company who's got very unstructured data, very unmappable data. कोई volume नहीं है उसका, कोई size नहीं है. There is no unit of that data. Getting it? आप उस data को measure नहीं कर सकते. इतना सारा data. वो इतने सारे data को they want to store it very securely, safely, and they want to give the access of that data to all their employees, to all their clients, to all their management, right? So it becomes easy when they have a cloud, right? So cloud service model comes in action, right? इसीलिए cloud service model आज बहुत ज़्यादा trend पे. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you that what that cloud service model is, right? In other way, you can say it is the delivery of on-demand computing resources, right? So when we talk about anything which is related to IT or maybe your IT lab, you just go and see your IT lab in your college. What is it? क्या क्या दिखता है आपको IT lab में, guys? आपका college में computer lab होगा, IT lab होगा. So what scenario do you see in a computer lab? Please explain me. क्या क्या दिखता है हमको computer lab में? क्या setup देखने को मिलता है हमको? Tell me, including everything, software, your operating system, your advanced software which is required to run a particular program or to run a particular coding, decoding or anything. Yes, friends, how do you see your lab? What do you see in your lab? Computer lab. I'll tell you. If I enter in a computer lab, what do I see? I physically see computer, right? Desktops दिखते हैं मुझे और CPUs दिखते हैं. And there will be always a man who is called system administrator. एक system administrator होता है, who takes care of all that setup, right? If any problem comes, you'll call him up and say कि ये चल नहीं रहा है computer. If any thing happens, you'll call him up and say कि please sort it out, right? So that system administrator is there. So that system administrator is always helping you to configure your computer. आपके कंप्यूटर को कॉन्फ़िगर करने का काम कर रहा है वो, right? कॉन्फ़िगर करना मतलब क्या? कॉन्फ़िगर करना in the sense, if you want to run any program or any file, any application, उसका एक backend requirement होता है. उस backend requirement को fulfill करने के लिए वो system administrator बैठा हुआ है. Sometimes ऐसा होता है कि कोई सॉफ्टवेयर रन करने के लिए हमको सेटिंग्स में जाके पर्टिकुलर उसके कॉन्फ़िगरेशन चेंज करने होते हैं. गेटिंग इट? दैट इज द थिंग, राइट? एक सर्वर भी होता है, वो सर्वर जिसका कंप्लीट अथॉरिटी एक्सेस उस सिस्टम एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर को ही होता है. स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट अलाउड टू सिट ओवर देयर, राइट? वो एक चीज होती है. अब वो सर्वर से हमने बाकी कंप्यूटर कनेक्ट किए थ्रू लैन, मतलब नेटवर्क होता है, कंप्यूटर्स है, सीपीयूज है, डेस्कटॉप है, सीपीयूज है, नेटवर्क है, एक सर्वर है, एंड देन यू हैव इंटरनली सम सॉफ्टवेयर. आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है जिसे हम विंडोज कहते हैं, लिनक्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है. लिनक्स में हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा यूजर फ्रेंडली नहीं होते हैं, तो नॉर्मली वी यूज माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ओनली. गेटिंग इट? तो ये हो गया आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. फिर उसमें लगने वाले सॉफ्टवेयर, ऑडियो रन करने के लिए ऑडियो सॉफ्टवेयर, वीडियो रन करने के लिए वीडियो सॉफ्टवेयर, कोई ग्राफिक्स से रिलेटेड, हाई ग्राफिक्स से रिलेटेड है तो ग्राफिक कार्ड हमको चाहिए होता है. गेटिंग इट? सो मेनी थिंग्स, राइट? तो ये आपका पूरा सेटअप हो गया जिसमें 3 प्रकार के रिसोर्सेस होते हैं. वो 3 प्रकार के रिसोर्सेस क्या होते हैं? इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जिसमें क्या क्या आता है? आपके डेस्कटॉप, आपके लैंड पॉइंट्स. गेटिंग इट? ये हो गया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. उसके बाद उसके लगने वाले सॉफ्टवेयर, राइट, वो आता है सॉफ्टवेयर कैटेगरी में. और उसके बाद लगते हैं प्लेटफॉर्म्स, राइट. प्लेटफॉर्म्स मतलब ओरेकल, .NET, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्शन सर्वर, ये सारे प्लेटफॉर्म को लगने वाले सॉफ्टवेयर जो होते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड प्लेटफॉर्म. तो 3 टाइप के रिसोर्सेस होते हैं. और इन रिसोर्सेस को जब हम ऑन डिमांड लेते हैं, इसका डिलीवरी जब ऑन डिमांड होता है, ऑन डिमांड इन द सेंस व्हेन एवर यू वांट इट एंड हाउ एवर यू वांट इट, जब भी आपको चाहिए, जैसे भी चाहिए, उसको डिलीवर करना क्लाउड का काम होता है. गेटिंग इट? इट जस्ट लाइक पे फॉर यूज बेसिस सर्विस. पे फॉर यूज बेसिस सर्विस समझता है आपको? कोई एग्जांपल दे सकते हो मुझे आप पे फॉर यूज बेसिस सर्विस का? यूज का मतलब जितना यूज करोगे उतना ही पे करोगे. इसका कोई एग्जांपल दे सकते हो आप मुझे, रियल टाइम एग्जांपल? Yes, students, come on, be interactive. Give me answer. If I'll ask you what is the pay for use service, pay for use service का कोई एग्जाम्पल कि आप जितना यूज करोगे उतने के लिए पे करोगे. Yes, Pranav? Yeah?
Mobile data particularly shows.
Mobile data, very true. So mobile data के लिए you are paying, that's a pay for use basis service. Any other example? Internet cafe, somebody is telling me internet cafe, it's a very nice example. So how much normally you pay in an internet cafe? How much you pay in an internet cafe?
Geo fiber.
No, I ask you, what is the cost of internet cafe में आप जाते हो तो कितना पैसा देते हो?
15 rupees. 20 rupees per hour.
15 rupees, 20 rupees per hour, right? But you hardly see that you need to sit in an internet cafe for hours, right? Because you have a data with your mobile phone nowadays, right? So you hardly need to go to internet cafe. Only when you need to get print of something, or only when you need to submit some form with the assistance, किसी का assistance का जरूरत पड़ता है तो you go to internet cafe, and you hardly work there for 5-10 minutes. Just because you paid for entire 1 hour, you paid for entire 30 minutes, you are sitting there helplessly and you are doing any other stuffs also. Isn't it true? But what if you have an internet cafe who is giving you tariff of per minute? आप बहुत ज्यादा एक्साइटेड रहोगे उस इंटरनेट कैफे में जाने के लिए, क्योंकि आपको नहीं पता, हो सकता है आपका 5 मिनट में काम हो जाए, हो सकता है 2 मिनट में काम हो जाए, हो सकता है 10 मिनट में, तो पूरा आधे घंटे के लिए पैसा क्यों दे हम लोग? सो दैट इज एक्चुअली आप वहां पे कैपेसिटी हिसाब से पैसा दे रहे हो. कैपेसिटी इन द सेंस आवर, 1 आवर 60 मिनट का कैपेसिटी, उसका पूरा पैसा दे रहे हो आप, राइट? ओला कैब इज वन ऑफ द एग्जाम्पल, राइट? यू ओनली पे फॉर द डिस्टेंस. If you travel 5 kilometers, you pay for 5 kilometers. If you travel 10 kilometers, you pay for 10 kilometers. Right? So that is again pay for use basis services. Similar kind of services comes in a cloud model. Right? Whatever size of space you need, you get it. Whatever infrastructure scale you need, wo infrastructure, whatever softwares you need, and whatever time limit is there to software, उस टाइम लिमिट के लिए वो सॉफ्टवेयर ले लो. That's a on demand computing resources. Got it? Google Drive is the best example and Google is the best example. Google के कितनी एप्लीकेशंस आप लोग जानते हो अपार्ट फ्रॉम गूगल ड्राइव जो आप ऑनलाइन कर सकते हो? एक हमारा गूगल मीट है जो हम ऑलरेडी वी आर इंटरेक्टिंग विद ईच अदर थ्रू आवर गूगल मीट. So is it, does your distance matter if I want to talk to you through Google Meet?
No, sir.
No, right? You are sitting maybe somewhere in civil lines or maybe at your home. I'm still speaking to you. Even if you are there in US, I'm speaking to you, right? If you are there anywhere or at any corner of the world, I can speak to you, right? So that's a magic. That's a great technology, right? Now you see most of the corporates, industries, whatever their critical meeting, yeah?
Microsoft Team app.
Yes, Microsoft Team Up is WebEx का है, Zoom call है, WhatsApp call है. All are the examples of virtual calls, virtual meetings. इस वर्चुअल मीटिंग ने क्या मैजिक किया? इस वर्चुअल मीटिंग ने बड़े बड़े कॉर्पोरेट का लाखों रुपए बचाया है. गेटिंग इट? When somebody wanted to have a meeting with very critical meeting, they had to travel all the way from one place to another. फ्लाइट का एक्सपेंसिव टिकट, फिर उनको रहने के लिए एक्सपेंसिव होटल, राइट? ये सारा खर्चा उनका बच गया बिकॉज दे कैन डू ऑल दोस थिंग्स थ्रू अ गूगल मीट. Right. Even our boss, he used to travel, twice in a year in our office. Now, right from pandemic 2020, he didn't travel a single time. Getting it? He is always meeting up with us through a Zoom call or a Google call or Google Meet, right? Similarly, we have another application like Google Slides, Spreadsheets, Google Docs. अगर आपके कंप्यूटर में MS Office नाम का सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं भी है, तो भी आप अपने डॉक फाइल्स बना सकते हो, आप अपने एक्सेल फाइल्स बना सकते हो तो गूगल ऑफिस, राइट? गूगल सूट जो होता है. एंड देयर आर सो मेनी ऑप्शंस, राइट? अगर आप प्ले स्टोर में, आप अपने ऐप स्टोर में जाओगे गूगल के, तो यू विल कम टू नो दैट व्हाट ऑल एप्लीकेशंस आर देयर. इफ यू वांट टू सी, आई कैन शो यू हियर. जस्ट हैव अ लुक. इफ आई गो टू अ गूगल एंड इफ आई क्लिक द गूगल हियर, right? So right after clicking it, you can see this dotted square, right? There are 9 dots. This is Google App Store. So this Google App Store, I hope you are able to see. If I open it, you get these many applications, right? Google Search, Google Map, YouTube, Play, Google Play Store, News, Gmail, Meet, Chat, Contacts, Types, Calendar, Translate, Photos, Duo, Chrome, Shopping, Finance, Doc, Sheets, right? Slides, Books, Bloggers, Hangouts, Keeps, Jamboard, Classroom, Earth, Collection, Arts and Collection, Google Ads, Podcast, Google One, Travel Form. We don't even see these many applications, or we don't even use these many applications. But it's very essential and it's very useful, So what is it? What this things you see here, this service, you got it? So now you can see right from single window to a multi-level mall. Everyone needs the Google interface. Yeah. Paths were really open. His chemist shop was open, grocery shop was open. But there were so many vendors, there were so many businesses who are affected very badly through pandemic, and they lost their business. And there, right after the first wave, they come across the cloud interface and they came to know that they can run their business online. बहुत सारे सिंगल विंडो शॉप जो जोमेटो में कनेक्टेड नहीं है, उन्होंने अपनी एप्लीकेशंस भी डेवलप की है. बहुत सारे सर्विसेज ऑनलाइन शुरू हुए, बहुत सारे कोचिंग्स ऑनलाइन शुरू हुए, यूनिवर्सिटी, कॉलेजेस, स्कूल, सब कुछ ऑनलाइन हो गया. Getting it? So that's the essential. So I don't need to stretch it, but I'm emphasizing it to make you understand that how essential it is to have a cloud nowadays, right? So Google was the best example. Now the very best question you must have in your mind, आज से 20-25 साल पहले क्यों हमें क्लाउड की जरूरत नहीं थी और आज हमें क्यों क्लाउड की जरूरत है? Because of a minute on the internet in 2021. राइट? आप सोच नहीं सकते हो 1 मिनट में, इंटरनेट के 1 मिनट में कितना डेटा क्रिएट होता है. Data created in 1 internet minute. This is the example. I got it from Google itself. It's my own research. I wanted to share with you. 28,000 subscriber Netflix देखते हैं 1 internet minute पे. 6,095 stories are shared in Instagram. 9,132 connections made in LinkedIn. 60 million messages, 69 million messages are sent through WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. 5,000 downloads happens in an application like TikTok. 2 million views, 1.1 million US dollar are spent in Flipkart. 2 million swipes, आपके जो कार्ड्स होते हैं, डेबिट कार्ड, क्रेडिट कार्ड जो स्वाइप्स होते हैं, वो 2 million swipes होते हैं. 7.6 million emails are sent and 500 hours का कंटेंट यूट्यूब पे अपलोड होता है 1 इंटरनेट मिनट पे. What it means? It means data which gets created in every single second is a huge data. And to operate that data very efficiently, to handle very nicely or very efficiently, we need cloud. Getting it? So that's the essence of cloud. Conventional computing versus cloud computing, there are a lot of differences. Conventional में, as I told you, you have a system administrator in your computer lab, and that guy will help you to make your system provision whenever it needed. Whereas in a cloud, it happens automatically. Getting it? आपको cloud अगर server है आपका या cloud computer है, तो उसमें you don't need any kind of system administrator. Whatever software you download, whatever software you access, or whatever application you access, your system itself gets automatically configured. Dedicated hardware and shared hardware. Dedicated hardware का मतलब when your hardware is not connected to the internet, that hardware has to be shared to each and everyone whenever it is needed. But if your hardware is connected through internet, you can share that hardware to a multiple user from a long distance anywhere across the globe. That's a shared hardware. Fixed capacity and elastic capacity. Your computer hard disk जो है वो fixed capacity हो गई. आपका वर्चुअल स्टोरेज जो है वो इलास्टिक कैपेसिटी हो गया. फिक्स कैपेसिटी मतलब 1 TB का हार्ड डिस्क है, 1 TB ही रहेगा. उसको एक्सपैंड करने के लिए you have to just externally get the USB drive, right? But you know what virtual storage is? Virtual storage has got an elastic capacity. You can reduce it, you can increase it. आप 1 TB को घटा नहीं सकते हो, right? Sometime you may expand it through a external support or through a external USB drive, but can you reduce that 1 TB space? उसको कम कर सकते हो क्या? You won't be able to do it, right? So that elasticity is not there. Pay for capacity and pay for use. I have given you example. Pay for capacity is something you are going in a showroom and getting a brand new car, right? And pay for use means you are booking a Ola cab and paying for the distance only. That's the difference. Capital and operational expenses, both are involved in conventional computing. Cloud computing में सिर्फ operational expenses लगते हैं. That's the reason Zomato became most successful startup. Zomato never need capital investment. They have invested only in operations. Right? It's a virtual restaurant. India's largest virtual restaurant. That's Zomato. Zomato is listed in BSE and NSE. Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange में उनके stocks आ गए. That's a successful, very successful startup just because of cloud. Getting it? So Zomato must have got services from companies, services like companies from IBM and Google. उनसे उन्होंने services लिए. They have made a cloud interface. They have made a through which a user can kind of food, any brand, McD है, Domino's है, KFC है, or there is no restriction. You can any kind of food, any kind of brand. That's a Zomato. Similarly, you have a Byju's, you have a Vedantu, you have a Ola Cab, you have a Oyo Hotel, you have so many options, right? So I hope you got to know that why cloud business is growing like anything, because it's cloud. Getting it? It's a web is replacing the desktop. Do you really need to have a desktop to access all those apps, guys? Do you really need desktop? जीमेल एक्सेस करने के लिए,
No,
फेसबुक
sir.
एक्सेस करने के लिए, यूट्यूब एक्सेस करने के लिए, यू रियली नीड डेस्कटॉप? या
No, sir.
नो,
No,
यू
sir.
डू नॉट नीड, राइट? व्हाट इफ यू डोंट हैव इवन अ स्मार्टफोन, आपके पास स्मार्टफोन भी नहीं है, तो हाउ you'll go to internet cafe, right? Or you may ask anybody's phone for some time and you can access that because it's your individual account which is happened there in virtual drive, वहां पे बना हुआ है. So when you have a internet connectivity and web browser, you can access all those applications without desktop. Getting it? That's the web is replacing desktop. Now we will talk about the service models. Let's have a look. These are the service models. आस पास सास, इसको शॉर्टकट में अगर आपको याद रखना है, पास सास, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एज अ सर्विस, प्लेटफॉर्म एज अ सर्विस एंड सॉफ्टवेयर एज अ सर्विस. I already right. So these all services comes in two format. One is physical format and one is virtual format. When you deliver it in virtual format or when you access it virtually, then it becomes a cloud services. Getting it? So these are the cloud services. And this is your landscape. You can see laptop, server, desktop, tablets, and phones are there outside the cloud. And inside the cloud, there are three service models: as PaaS, SaaS. Infrastructure, platform, and applications are nothing but software. Right? So those all things can be accessed by any computing device. आपके पास लैपटॉप होना, सर्वर होना, डेस्कटॉप होना, टैबलेट होना, फोन होना स्पेसिफिकली जरूरी नहीं है. इसमें से कोई भी डिवाइस रहेगा तो यू कैन इजीली एक्सेस इट. And let's recall the advantages. Cost efficient है, unlimited storage मिलता है, backup and recovery best, automatic software integration. Automatic software integration in the sense when you have a software utility, maybe आपके सॉफ्टवेयर का यूटिलिटी सिर्फ ऑडियो है, right? तो वो ऑडियो ही मिलेगा आपको. आपके सॉफ्टवेयर का यूटिलिटी ऑडियो और वीडियो दोनों है, तो ऑडियो वीडियो ही मिलेगा. But what if you want in that software some Photoshop? You need some video cutters, you need some voice modulation. That integration can be happen automatically, right? Easy access to information, quick deployment, flexibility and elasticity, pay as much as you used and needed, easy expansion, no capital expenditure, only operational expenditure. Experts talk. Now I'll tell you what expert says. Shrikant Karnakota, who is the director of Microsoft India Server and Cloud Business Division. उनका कहना यह है, क्लाउड एक बेस्ट बिजनेस इंटेलिजेंस सॉल्यूशन के तरह सामने आया हुआ है, जो लार्ज एंटरप्राइजेस से लेके तो छोटे छोटे स्मॉल कंपनी तक हर किसी को क्लाउड इंटरफेस देता है और उससे एक विन विन सिचुएशन क्रिएट करता है. सनी शर्मा जो फाउंडर एंड सीईओ है फोट्रॉन के, उनका कहना यह है, 2016 में उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट दिया था कि बाय द नेक्स्ट ईयर ऑल कंपनी will have a cloud interface, and it came true. और ये सच हुआ है. Getting it? Now, राजीव सोधी, सीनियर कॉर्पोरेट वाइस प्रेसिडेंट HCL टेक्नोलॉजीज, उनका कहना यह है कि क्लाउड एक बेस्ट बिजनेस इंटेलिजेंस सॉल्यूशन की तरह सामने आया, एक सिग्निफिकेंट इनरोड्स इंडस्ट्री के लिए शुरू हुआ, और आईटी वर्कफोर्स जो है इस टेक्नोलॉजी को हैंडल करने के लिए वो उस तरीके से डेवलप हुआ. What it means, if there are thousands, lakhs, millions opportunities are there in a market, we do not have people, we do not have workforce to bridge up that gap of requirement of industry. You got the point? What it means, there are the vacancies in industry who are not yet filled by the skilled people. They are still vacant. Are you getting my point? My point is, there are the mass vacancies, mass jobs, mass opportunities in a market. But the manpower which is available in this market is only 5.7%. Are you getting my point? The crux is there is a shortage of manpower. And that shortage of manpower is itself your opportunity. Right? Students बोलते हैं ना, opportunities चाहिए. Do anything then. So that shortage is itself an opportunity for you. Getting it? So it became a job creator. Some time back people used to say cloud से लोगों का job जाएगा. ये एक misconception था. Rather cloud ने हजारों लाखों के लिए जॉब दिया है. क्लाउड वॉज ओनली द डोमेन जिसमें पूरे पैंडेमिक में जहां सारी दुनिया अपने अपने जॉब खो रहे थे, वहां पे क्लाउड में मिलियंस ऑफ हायरिंग्स हुई, मिलियंस ऑफ पीपल आर हायर्ड, गेटिंग इट, irrespective of skills. They are invested so much in their training, they are invested so much in their skills. Now imagine if you are trained, you are already skilled, how easily you will be hired by the industry, right? There is no rocket science. So it's a very golden time for aspirants. And I must congratulate all BCA and BSc IT and BSc CSC students. It's a very nice time period going on for all of you guys, right? And this is revenue forecast. $49 billion का industry था 2015 में, जो 2018 में $67 billion का हुआ. And I'm very sure right after the outbreak of COVID-19, the market became many-fold grown. Right? 10-15 times extra it has gone up. Getting it? That's the size, that's a figure. Getting it? Let's have a look. Top 5 tech spending increases in 2015 का ये stats है. Security technologies में 46% investment, cloud computing में 42%, business analytics 38%, storage 36%, wireless mobile 35%. Top 5 tech spendings के technologies में कितनी spendings हुए? Right? Percentage increase in cloud computing. Right? So that's something great about cloud. Revenue forecast, again, it's all business numbers. The most important thing, वो बोलते हैं ना ट्रेंड चल रहा है. Who are the superstars of our today's cinema? And what are the super jobs of our today's industry, IT industry? The super jobs are top 2021's most in-demand cloud computing job titles are cloud engineer, cloud architect, cloud development and operational engineer, full stack developer, cloud sales engineer, cloud service developer, cloud consultant, cloud network engineer, data engineer, cloud system engineer. That cannot really ignore it. So if you really want to become a trendy employee or a trendy professional, you have to be a cloud engineer. And these are the things. Straight away we'll go with the prospect of cloud computing. I think you should take a screenshot. All, it's a short summary of our entire session. Why so essential, right? These all things I have already very well, right? You have to just read it and understand, getting it. So these are the cloud players: Accenture, IBM, Cisco, HP, Infosys, Microsoft, Dimension Data, Capgemini, Unisys. These all are the companies who are into in a cloud, and they can become your recruiter, and they are hiring engineers in a very mass numbers. Other companies like Cypher Cloud, Uninox, Informatica, Sandesk, Tango, Senbits, Akamai, Iris Global, Tata Consultancies, Wipro, Infosys, and apart from that, there are the companies like Google, IBM, HP, Intel, Salesforce, AWS, EMC Square, Microsoft. These all are your recruiters, And don't underestimate yourself saying that these are very big brands and we cannot get into it. The matter is they have a lot of business with them. उनके पास बहुत सारा business है. उस business को grow up करने के लिए the employee is needed. So employee can be the biggest assets of any company and can be the biggest disaster of any company. Employee company का एक बड़ा asset भी बन सकता है, एक बड़ा disaster भी बन सकता है. Disaster is when your employee is not skilled, it's a disaster. It's a liability. But when your employee is skilled, it's a business for you. Your business will be growing like anything. So these all are actually hunting for the trained people. Nagpur mein TCS or SCL, they have started a trend. They started hiring candidates after 12th standard. They are not bothered about your graduation. Hiring people right after 12th standard. They are training them. They are sponsoring their graduation program, and they are asking them to work with them right after standard. I don't know how many of you guys are aware about it. Providing you have to go through some screen test, some aptitude test, and accordingly, looking at your intelligence, IQ level, and your aptitude, they hire you, they train you on their particular platforms, on their particular services, whatever they deliver, and then they take you for the job. At the same time, they sponsor your graduation also. So it's a train. So during this train, do you really think that your qualification is really the matter? It's not the matter. Your hirings are happening irrespective of your qualification nowadays. Yeah, it's good to be a graduate, right? And it's a very decent qualification. Apart from that, you are still, if you are still running behind the qualification, degrees and certificates, I think it will not work for you. What all is working for you is, so what you have to do is you have to see for the industry trains, industry training, industry course, industry-based projects, internship, live projects. If you work on that direction, I can tell you, you will be a very successful professional, and it will be the matter of proud for your parents and guardians. Getting it? So that's all you need to understand about cloud technology. Now let's talk about information security. It's a set of strategies of managing the processes, tools and policies necessary to prevent, detect, document and counter threat to a digital and non-digital information. Let's have a look at how it is about CIA, confidentiality, integrity and availability. That's all about security. Right. Keeping your data confidential with all integrity, and it can be available with you 24/7 at any point in time when you need it. But you know, this data can be stolen, can be hacked, can be breached by the hackers. Hackers are very active in a market nowadays. When your life becomes digital or online, it creates more opportunities for the hackers. Getting it? So you might have heard that sometimes your Facebook account is hacked and somebody else is using your account and asking money to their friends. You might have heard about it, right? Somebody hacked your Twitter account, वो भी आपने सुना होगा. आपने ये भी सुना होगा कि एक दिन में कुछ घंटों में 200-300 टेररिस्ट के अकाउंट रिमूव कर दिए गए थे ट्विटर से. दैट्स अ डेटा साइंस, राइट? एंड द सिक्योरिटी पार्ट इज आल्सो इन्वॉल्वड इनटू इट, राइट? आपने सुना होगा पिगासस नाम का सॉफ्टवेयर जो इजराइल से डेवलप हुआ था एंड इट वाज डेवलप्ड टू यूज अगेंस्ट द टेररिस्ट. वो हमारे इंडियन पॉलिटिकल लीडर के अगेंस्ट यूज किए गए थे. टेलीफोन के कॉल रिकॉर्ड्स, व्हाट्सएप चैट एंड मैसेजेस, टेक्स्ट मैसेजेस वर हैक्ड by a Pegasus. Pegasus is a virus which is created by the Israel to use against terrorists. जो आपके मोबाइल फोन में घुस के आपके मोबाइल फोन का पूरा ट्रैक रखता है, राइट? आपने रैंसमवेयर का अटैक सुना होगा. रैंसमवेयर वाज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट अटैक, साइबर अटैक, राइट? बहुत लागू के सिस्टम. सोनी का प्ले स्टेशन लॉन्ग बैक इन 2007 और 8 प्ले स्टेशन वॉज हैक्ड. सोनी का पूरा प्ले स्टेशन हैक हो गया था. गेटिंग इट? एंड द यूजर्स वर रियली सफर्ड आउट ऑफ इट. गेटिंग इट? सम टाइम आपने देखा होगा आपके क्रेडिट कार्ड हैक हो जाते. तो ये सारी चीजें कब होती है? जब यू डू नॉट हैव अ सिक्योरिटी टू योर सिस्टम. आपने देखा होगा मेनी टाइम्स योर बैंकर्स आर इन्फॉर्मिंग यू कि डू नॉट शेयर योर पिन or do not share your OTP, or we are never asking you your PIN, or we are never asking you your OTP, right? So avoid sharing it if anybody asks or call you from a bank, right? एक सिक्योरिटी टिप्स, फेसबुक के भी बहुत सारे सिक्योरिटी टिप्स होते हैं. आप अपना प्रोफाइल ब्लॉक कर सकते हो, आप डीपी ब्लॉक कर सकते हो, आप अपना पोस्ट ब्लॉक कर सकते हो. दिस ऑल आर द सिक्योरिटी अगेंस्ट हैकर्स. So whenever hacker try to breach your data or get into in your system, immediately the anti-hacker यानी कौन? Information security engineer. That anti-hacker immediately create a new update in your software, new update in your application, new update in your system, so that that hacker will be restricted then and there itself, and he'll be prohibited to break that security. Blockchain is another part, right? Blockchain उसी को, when your particular security system is not up to only one system, there are multiple systems which are broken by the hacker, जो उसके लिए काफी tedious job होता है. Getting it? So this is all about information security. Let's have a look few attacks on information, राइट, मालवेयर वायरस जो आपके कॉन्फिडेंशियल डेटा को चुरा सकता है, स्पाईवेयर बनता है आपके कंप्यूटर का ट्रैक करने के लिए, कैसे यूज कर रहे हो आप। ट्रोजन हॉर्स बहुत वायरस मानते हैं हम लोग, लेकिन इसमें भी बहुत सारे कंटेंट्स होते हैं। सो दिस ऑल वायरसेस आर क्रिएटेड टू हैक योर सिस्टम, गेटिंग इट। एंड दिस वायरस का सबसे बड़ा सोर्स होता है अनऑथराइज्ड वेबसाइट्स, राइट। बहुत सारी अनऑथराइज्ड वेबसाइट्स होती है, वो लोग सम टाइम अट्रैक्टिव होने की वजह से उस वेबसाइट को विजिट करते हैं। आफ्टर सिक्योरिटी अलर्ट भी हम उसको एक्सेस करते हैं, तब हमें पता चलता है हमारा सिस्टम हैक हो गया, गेटिंग इट। बट वो जो अलर्ट दे रहा है वो कौन दे रहा है आपको? सिक्योरिटी गाय, जो इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी वाला बंदा बैठा है उस सिस्टम में, जो आप एक्सेस कर रहे हो, ब्राउज कर रहे हो, उसको देख रहा है कौन सा डेटा आपके लिए सिक्योर है, कौन सा वेबसाइट सिक्योर है, नहीं है, ये सब देखता है। तो ऐसे हैकर्स, ऐसे सिक्योरिटी गाइज आर everywhere in IT industries nowadays. Bankers are having their hackers, right? Facebook is having their hacker, Flipkart is having their hacker, and Amazon is having their own security guys, right? So hacking को एक what we can say is it's abusive profession माना जाता था hacking को। अभी now it became a biggest career avenue for the youngsters. If you are the hacker, you can be hired by the companies like Facebook. You can be hired like the Google. If you are best in hacking, getting it, because you will be used against the hackers. आप ही को hackers के against use किया जाता है। आपके सिस्टम को प्रोटेक्ट करना, सिक्योर करना, सेव करने का काम उस hackers का होता है। And जैसे ही ऑनलाइन लाइफ का थ्रेट बढ़ गया, वैसे ही इस hackers की रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ गई। I'll show you one interesting video for this. Let's have a look at how the things are happening in our life and how people can make you fool if they have a technology with them. Just look at this video. So this video is about Mr. Dave. Mr. Dave जो लोगों के साथ एक प्रैंक कर रहा है, उसने he is just inviting people randomly, saying कि एक ऑडिशन है, आपको आना। टीवी प्रोग्राम के ऑडिशन नाम पे people and they are going there and he is doing prank with them. What kind of prank? Just have a look. Now is Dave, he will try to pretend that वो कोई तांत्रिक है जैसे, और तांत्रिक जैसे हरकतें करके आपकी पूरी पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन आपको बता रहा है, राइट? इन अ स्कूल एंटवेप इंसेक्ट आपके बॉडी पे कौन सा टैटू बना हुआ है वो आपके बॉडी को बिना स्कैन किए बता पा रहा है, राइट? आपके बेस्ट फ्रेंड का नाम, आपके पास मोटरसाइकिल कौन से कलर की है, एंड मेनी थिंग्स। योर बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स नेम इज जूली, राइट? योर लव लाइफ इज शेयर्ड, एंड देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स, स्ट्रेंजर थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग विद देम। आपके बॉडी में कहाँ डैमेज है वो भी वो आपको बता पा रहा है। Isn't it amazing? But it's not enough. Now Mr. Dave will go into in your financial transaction. आपके बैंक अकाउंट का नंबर क्या है, आपके अकाउंट का बैलेंस कितना है, आपके डेबिट कार्ड के पिन के लास्ट 2 डिजिट्स क्या है, so many things he is telling। आपने लास्ट मंथ कितना शॉपिंग किया, these things he is disclosing and he is telling। Now people are scared. अभी लोग डर गए कि ये कैसे हो रहा है, कैसे this guy is telling everything about our life, about our financial transactions, right? So it's all about a magic. Magic behind the magic is this.
Sir?
By your geographical location, the hackers are hacking your social media, hacking your information, and that's how he's telling you everything.
सर?
Getting it? Yes.
सर जो ये क्लाउड पे अपन जो डाटा स्टोर करते हैं,
राइट,
तो उस पे मतलब डाटा कोई भी हैक कर सकता है।
या बट देन आप जो क्लाउड सर्विसेज लेते हो किसी से, फॉर एग्जांपल फेसबुक आप एक्सेस कर रहे हो, राइट? फेसबुक एक्सेस कर रहे हो मतलब आप क्लाउड सर्विस ले रहे हो, तो इट्स अ फेसबुक्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू कीप योर डेटा सेफ एंड सिक्योर, प्रोवाइडिंग आपको उनके कुछ सिक्योरिटी टिप्स फॉलो करने होते हैं। गेटिंग इट? अगर फेसबुक हैक करना इतना आसान होता तो बड़े बड़े पॉलिटिकल लीडर है, बड़े बड़े स्टार्स है, बड़े बड़े बिजनेसमैन हैं, सबके अकाउंट हैक करके हैकर्स कुछ भी कर सकते थे. Hacking happens when you are unconsciously using this kind of data without following the security tips. Getting it? So Facebook has got that security, Gmail has got that security, right? PhonePe has got that security, Paytm has got that security, Google Pay has got that security. फोन पे लाखों का ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है, बट वी आर नेवर हर्ड कि किसी का फोन पे का अकाउंट हैक हो गया एंड आपके अकाउंट से पैसा निकाल दिया गया, राइट? सो दिस आर द थिंग्स. सम साइबर क्राइम्स भी होते हैं, जैसे हैकिंग के अलावा आपको आपका कोड मांगा जाएगा, आपको पैसों का रिक्वेस्ट भेजा जाएगा, दैट कम्स अंडर साइबर क्राइम, जो विच इज मच अबाउट अ लॉ, साइबर लॉ से रिलेटेड होता है. सो व्हेन यू हैव द डेटा ऑन योर क्लाउड, तो कौन सा क्लाउड आप यूज करते हो, दैट इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. जैसे जूम, बीच में एक न्यूज आया था कि जूम कॉल पे डेटा हैक हो रहा है, राइट? जूम पे जो सर्विसेज हम ले रहे हैं, डेटा हैक हो रहा है, लेकिन वो जो हम देते हैं फ्री, उस सिक्योरिटी मिलने का काम होता है. गेटिंग इट?
यस.
काम वो ब्रांडेड नहीं है, पॉपुलर नहीं है, ऐसी कोई भी लेना हमने अवॉइड करना है. मोबाइल प्ले स्टोर में होते हैं जो कुछ मोबाइल गेम्स ऐसे होते हैं जो हैकर्स खुद बनाते हैं, जिसके थ्रू वो आपके सिस्टम में एंटर करना चाहते हैं. तो यू हैव टू ऑलवेज टेक केयर ऑफ, यू इंस्टॉल इट, तो वो आपको हमेशा पूछता है अलाउ योर कॉन्टैक्ट्स टू एक्सेस, अलाउ योर गैलरी टू एक्सेस. तो ये सारी चीजें हमें थोड़ी केयरफुली करनी होती है. एंड ये सारा ऑन फॉर डिजिटल लाइफ होता है हमारा. इस पूरे डिजिटल लाइफ को सेफ और सिक्योर रखने का काम इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी का होता है. तो जितना डिजिटल आइडेंटिटी ऑनलाइन बढ़ेंगे, उतना इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी और जरूरत हमें मार्केट में पड़े. द इंडस्ट्रीज लाइक IBM, Google, and big IT brands are hiring their own hackers. So there are equivalent opportunities in a hacking job and in a security jobs. Getting it? So that's all I wanted to tell you guys. Now it's time for question answer. If you have any queries or questions, you can ask me. Let me come back on a screen. I hope you found this session very interesting and you enjoyed it, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So time for your questions. I would expect all of you guys to please share your feedback and yes.
सर, जैसे अपन पेन ड्राइव में अपना डाटा स्टोर करते हैं,
करेक्ट,
तो मतलब कोई हैक नहीं कर सकता. फिर अपने पास पेन ड्राइव होगा तो कोई हैक नहीं कर सकता.
पेन ड्राइव चुरा तो सकता है ना मनीष आपका, कोई पेन ड्राइव आपका चुरा सकता है, पेन ड्राइव मिसप्लेस हो सकता है, आपका पेन ड्राइव डैमेज हो सकता है, कभी पानी में गिर गया, कभी वो अपने आप खराब हो गया, तो जैसे ही पेन ड्राइव गया वैसे आपका डेटा चला जाएगा. आपने सुना होगा हमेशा कि किसी का पर्स, यस,
उसमें लिमिटेड रहता है ना, लिमिटेड स्टोरेज रहता है.
हाँ, दैट इज अगेन अनदर डिसएडवांटेज कि व्हेन यू हैव अ पेन ड्राइव इट हैज गॉट अ लिमिटेड स्टोरेज, राइट? जितना उसका साइज है उतना ही डेटा आप स्टोर कर पाओगे. यू कैन नॉट एक्सपैंड इट, राइट? बाय अ न्यू पेन ड्राइव अगेन अगर आपको और डेटा स्टोर करना है तो. But then pen drive is after all physical device. It can be destroyed, which can be stolen, which can be misplaced, which can be damaged. The virtual system cannot be damaged, cannot be stolen, cannot be misplaced. Getting it? So only you have to keep in mind your password and user ID. If you don't have it, then sometimes it becomes very difficult, right? So उससे आप वो अपना एक्सेस कर सकते हो. इंटरनेट बैंकिंग अलग लेवल पे जा रहा है, virtual payments अलग लेवल पे जा रहा है. It's all happens through a cloud, right?
Sir, Google Drive and Microsoft Cloud is also a part of it?
Yes, Google Drive and Microsoft Cloud. Microsoft का Azure नाम का प्लेटफॉर्म है which is doing really excellent and they have a service models for the corporate, for the individual and for the small enterprises also, right? So Google is into in cloud. Then your Microsoft is into in cloud. उसके अलावा Salesforce बहुत चल रहा है अभी मार्केट में. Salesforce is basically the cloud service for the sales tools. जितने भी बड़े बड़े corporates है उनके सेल्स टूल्स के लिए क्लाउड सर्विसेज यूज किए जाते हैं। क्लाउड जो यूज किया जाता है उसको सेल्स फोर्स कहते हैं। कस्टमर का ट्रैक रखना, कस्टमर की इंक्वायरीज हैंडल करना, कस्टमर का ऑनलाइन बिहेवियर चेक करके उसको ट्रैक करना, ये सारा काम आपका क्लाउड सेल्स फोर्स करता है। गेटिंग इट? सिमिलरली AWS भी आपने सुना होगा, अमेजॉन वेब सर्वर, ये भी एक क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म है, राइट, जो क्लाउड सर्विसेज डिलीवर करता है। अब अमेजॉन का खुद का AWS है, वो अपना लाइसेंस बाकी छोटे मोटे IT कंपनी को बांट के उनको भी उस सर्विसेज में ला सकता है। तो आपको क्लाउड में IBM, गूगल जैसे भी मिलेंगे और छोटी छोटी कंपनीज भी मिलेंगी जो क्लाउड पे काम करती है। तो ये सारी बच्चों के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट करती है और दे गिव द जॉब टू कैंडिडेट्स, राइट? Any more questions? So I can see the students are from final year. So you guys are from BC or BSc?
BCA.
So BSc.
BCA.
Sir,
Great.
both BSc and BCA students are there.
Yes. So I think it's really very good for you guys that we have a tremendous opportunities for you in a market. What all have to do is you have to train yourself and skill yourself. As we all know that Nagpur University has got a center as a fast track career development center in a campus itself, and our fast track career development center helping many students every year to fulfill their dreams. So students from BC and BSc backgrounds are getting placed in companies, right? We have a companies like Velocity Cloud, Minzer Cloud, CloudStrat, in Fiber, then Informatics, right? And then CloudStrat, Red Cloud. ऐसी बहुत सारी Ripton, ऐसी बहुत सारी companies है who are hiring our students, and in fact many students are placed in a Nagpur's IT company also, and they are hired on a minimum package of 3.5 to 4.5. So that is something great. We have seen that एक समय था कि BSc और BCA के लिए MSc और MCA के अलावा ऑप्शन नहीं था, लेकिन आज BSc और BCA करके आप छोटा मोटा स्पेशलाइजेशन लेके विदाउट MCA, विदाउट MSc बड़ी बड़ी IT कंपनीज में अपना जॉब ले सकते हो, and we are helping you guys for that. So at any point of time, if you think that you should take the help from Nagpur University, we are there. We will help you out, right? So we have a 1-year specialization with us. That is 1-year PG diploma in cloud technology, data science, and information security. 3 different specializations. So according to your interest and according to your choice, you can go with the specialization. It is just a 1-year program which saves you 2-year time and gives you a best opportunities and best location, right, with the best brand. Right, guys?
Sir, this course you said, is it affiliated like Nagpur University ka hi hai na?
It is affiliated to Nagpur University, but it is run by iNurture Education Solution, which is a Bangalore-based company. You can check with the website of iNurture, www.inurture.co.in. They have a specializations across India in 35 universities. हमारे केस में अच्छी बात यह है कि नागपुर में गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटी यानी नागपुर यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ उनका टाई अप है, बिकॉज ऑफ विच द फीस इज वेरी मेंटेन्ड एंड अफोर्डेबल, राइट? So for that, you need to get more details, and you have to speak to our counselor. They will definitely help you to make you more aware about it and to give you more knowledge about it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, students? Okay.
So I suppose students are really, and it will be really successful if students take advantage of it, and I'll be more glad about it.
Oh, sure. So here I'm concluding this session. So thank you very much, sir. for enlighten our students and faculty members also about the essence of cloud technology and information security and opportunities for graduate students, like BSc and BCA students in this particular field. In your talk, sir has covered many things like what is cloud, what are the applications of cloud, advantage of cloud computing. Then he also shared some opinions of industry experts. He also focused on some in-demand cloud computing jobs and employment for the same in India and across. Sir also discussed some information securities concepts and the job opportunities in that field and many other things. So I hope the sir's talk was indeed a very knowledgeable and productive to all our audience. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for your expert talk and for your precious time that you spent with us. Thanks a lot. I also want to thank to Mr. Mahesh sir for his unlimited contribution in this particular webinar. Beside this, I also want to thank to management of the college and our principal sir, Dr. K.T. Thomas sir, to always encourage us to conduct such online activities which benefits the students as well as the faculty members. I want to thank our head of the department, Professor Biju sir, to make available all the resources required to conduct such online activity. I also want to thank to all the organizing committee members, Ms. Kavita ma'am, Ritika ma'am, Pranita ma'am, Swati ma'am, and Shweta ma'am for their support to carry out this program successfully. And of course, a big thanks to all the dear students who attended the program and makes it the grand success. Thank you all. Take care and have a good time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is a link in chat box, so please ask student to fill the same.
Yes. I'll share that feedback link with the student also. Students, just give your feedback for this particular webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. So have a great day ahead and wish you all the best for your career.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.